Cascade Hoops Talk, this is Billy D. What a wild weekend in the NAI. Upsets, drama, and heartbreak. Buckle up. Cascade Hoops Talk starts right now. Cascade Hoops Talk, produced in the shadow of the beautiful Cascade Mountains and bringing the world NAI basketball. One podcast at a time. Well, happy Monday. Welcome to Monday edition of Cascade Hoops Talk. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I hope your team won. We got a lot to get through, so let's just get it started. As always, we're going to start with number one, Grace College, 19-0 now. They went to Goshen and they beat them 104-83. The sophomore Hunter Walston, 18 points, 6 rebounds, and the freshman Gavin Benton, he had 15 points, 8 rebounds. So the youngsters at Grace really getting it done. As I say, they go to 19-0, big showdown. They'll be at Taylor on Saturday. The Bethel Pilots have dropped 2 in a row. They fell to Indiana Wesleyan 96-86. Let's take a look at that game. So for Indiana Wesleyan, Cademan Bontrager, another marquee night, 29 points, 9 rebounds. Julius Gizzi, 20 points, 5 rebounds. So the Wildcats, they go to 16-3, and they will be at Goshen on Saturday. Taylor University, they hosted Mount Vernon Nazarene Saturday, 83-77. The Trojans were victorious in this one. Taylor goes to 16-3. Big Pete Combs, 20 points, 3 rebounds, and Isaiah Day, he had 29 points and 6 rebounds. Taylor's really looking good. And boy, that's going to set up a really exciting showdown for Saturday. So the Crossroads will not play Wednesday. They're going all the way to Saturday. I'll show you the schedule in a second. But big showdown between Grace and Taylor. And Grace is going to Taylor. Let's take a look at the other scores. Pretty much touched on them. One of the key ones, Huntington won again. They're searching for that in that top 4. And then you've seen the rest here. So let's go ahead and go to the standings. And hang on. So Grace is a game up on Taylor. So Taylor's looking to tie the conference up on Saturday. Bethel now falls 2 games back of second place, as does Indiana Wesleyan. And then Huntington's only a game out of 4th. So if you're in the top 4, you have a home game to at least begin the playoffs. So that's where everybody wants to be. So Huntington's in the hunt for that. And Mount Vernon Nazarene could be, but boy, they're going to need a lot of help. So what's coming up? I talked about Grace at Taylor, but also Bethel will be at Marion. Why do I have that starred? Bethel needs to win. They've lost 2 straight, and Spring Arbor will be at Huntington and Indiana Wesleyan at Goshen. Let's jump over to the Mid-South. Freed Hardeman. Surprise, surprise, they won again. 80-48. They beat Campbellsville. Rico Sane, he had 15 points, 3 rebounds. It was really lopsided game. Caleb Thomas, 14 points, 4 rebounds. So the Lions of Freed Hardeman, they go to 19-1, and they're going to be at Bethel on Thursday. Also in the Mid-South this Saturday, Georgetown defeated Cumberland 104-81. Zion Harmon, he had 21 points, 2 rebounds. And Bubba Lavelle, he had 23 points, 3 rebounds. So the Georgetown Tigers go to 15-4, and they will be at Cumberland's on Thursday. Real quick, look at I think I pretty much showed you all the games. No surprises there. Lindsey Wilson beat Bethel. That was a good win for Lindsey Wilson. Beat him by 42 points. Let's look at the standings. Remember, there's very few games in this league. Freed Hardeman's 1 game up on Lindsey Wilson and Georgetown. Bethel, look at this. University of Cumberland's is, boy, they got a lot of catching up to do. I'm not sure they're going to have time to do it. So this weekend, or not this weekend, this Thursday, Georgetown will be at Cumberland's. Freed Hardeman will be at Bethel. Keep an eye on that game. That might be a little bit of a trap. Bethel is a very good team. They've got some big wins. And then Campbellsville is at Cumberland. Over over in the KCAC, wow, this conference is getting wild as well. Oklahoma Wesleyan beat York 86-45. What a nail biter, huh? Tamaje Izugabe, 19.6 rebounds. Isaac Stanek, 11 points, 2 rebounds. So the Eagles, they go to 16-2, and they're going to be at Evangel on Wednesday. That's going to be a road game against a very good team. The Valor's very good. We'll keep a close eye on that game on Wednesday. Friends this Saturday, they defeated Bethany in another nail-biter, 100-66. Colin Macklin, 17.6 rebounds. Randy Wolf Jr., 17.6 rebounds. They go to 14-4 with the win, and they're going to be at Bethel on Wednesday, and that is going to be a tough. That's a big matchup. I'll show you in the standings and the matchups. Also, well, here's Bethel right here. They beat Ottawa at Ottawa. That's a good win. Tough place to win, 76-66. Carmelo Yakubu, 18 points, 9 rebounds. Trenton Patterson, 18 points, 2 rebounds. So Bethel goes to 15-3, and they will host Friends on Wednesday. So a big matchup. A couple big matchups in the KCAC. Though here's the results. Evangel got beat. That was a bad loss for Evangel. The Jinx of Southwestern have won another one. They're a little bit back in the standings, but they're making some noise. And you can see the rest of the games there. Also, I wanted to tell you, McPherson beat Avila. That was a good win. McPherson is staying in the battle. We'll show you right here in the standings. So Oklahoma Wesleyan, clearly, they're a game up. But they've had control of that conference all along. So Bethel is a game back, and another game back is Friends, but tied with them is McPherson. Again, even if you can't get to first, you want to get as high as you can in these conferences for the seeding for the playoffs. So Evangel is 8-4. So here's the key games coming up on, what are these, Wednesday. So Oklahoma Wesleyan is at Evangel, as I said. Road game. Evangel's a good team. Friends is at Bethel. That's the marquee game. And McPherson is at Sterling. Sterling's record, you would think McPherson is going to be a heavy favorite, but Sterling, another one of these schools that's really hard to play at. So McPherson will have their hands full. Jump down to the Sun Conference. Ave Maria, man, they are on a roll. I know a lot of people are kind of betting against them, but they just keep defying odds. They were at St. Thomas, beat them 74-70. They go to 18-1. Alex Sherwood, who just seems to be getting better every week, 13 points, 13 rebounds, double-double. And he says, I can do more than that, and he got 5 blocks. So Michael Klekas, who's had a great season for the Gyrenes, 17 points, 2 rebounds. Big showdown in the Sun as they're going to host Southeastern on Wednesday. And Kaiser, they fall again to Florida Memorial. They were at Florida Memorial. That's a tall hill to climb. Florida Memorial is really good. They lost 65-51. Jeffrey Selden, 17.7 rebounds for Florida Memorial. And Cameron Noel, 11 points, 2 rebounds. So Kaiser, they fall to 14-3. And they're going to host Coastal Georgia on Wednesday. And Benedictine Mesa, they hosted OUAZ. Tight game. Benedictine Mesa won this 76-74. They go to 19-1. Cameron Robinson, he's a Jefferson High School native out of Portland, 17 points, 5 rebounds. Isaiah Howard, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and he hit the game winner with 5 seconds to go. Congratulations for that, Isaiah. So again, they're 19-1, and they're going to be at Life Pacific on Thursday. What other games were there? So we talked about all those. Park Gilbert beat Life Pacific is the only other one. Okay, so let's look at the standings. So Benedictine Mesa is a half game up, and then you can see how tight it is. I think those first 4 are still battling for the conference win. Embry-Riddle would need a lot of help and a lot of luck. But any of those first 4 could still win the conference. And I'm not going to rule out Embry-Riddle, but it's highly unlikely. Everybody else is way too far back to really make noise. They're playing for position at this point. Okay, so what's coming up on Thursday? Benedictine Mesa is going over to Life Pacific. Life Pacific has given some people trouble at home. Park Gilbert will be at the Masters. I predict the Masters take care of that. And then Arizona Christian shouldn't have any trouble with La Sierra at home. Appalachian, Pikeville wasn't in action on Saturday, but there were still games. Big game, Reinhardt knocked off Montreat. That was not a good loss for Montreat. Big win for Reinhardt. CIU won over Tennessee Wesleyan. That was a good win. Let's take a look at the standings. This is a Pikeville runaway. They're 4 games up. You can see there, Montreat with that loss fell 4 games back now to Pikeville, and they're right there with Truett, McConnell, and Johnson. And CIU and Bryan, look at that. What is there? I think I counted 7 teams. I think I counted 7 teams within 1 game of second place. Okay, so what's happening on Wednesday? Johnson is going to be at Montreat. They want to see if they can join the party, knocking off Montreat. Reinhardt is going to be at Truett McConnell. Both those teams need a win. And Tennessee Wesleyan is going to be at Bryan. These are all games for position. One more game down here. Oh, that's a non-conference for Spartanburg. Okay, so let's jump to the WAC where we have Indiana Tech. They fell at Aquinas. Not a good loss for Indiana Tech. They lost 85-79 for Aquinas. Devin Boyd, 26 points, 4 rebounds. Caden Pokorowski, Pokorzinski. I'm sure I messed your name up. Pokorzinski. Caden Pokorzinski. He had 14 points, 10 rebounds for the double-double. So his name might be hard to say, but double-double, his double-double was easy to say. He was a big part of that win. So Indiana Tech, they go to 14-3, and they will host UNOH, the Racers, on Wednesday. And the Racers have been playing pretty good basketball. Indiana Tech is a little bruised up. I'm going to be interested in that game, see if the Racers can do it. This would be a big marquee win for them. Let's take a look at the rest of the games in the conference Saturday. Madonna beat Cleary. That was a big win for Madonna. You'll see in the standings. And speaking of Northwestern Ohio, the Racers beat Rochester Christian. Big win for UNOH. And Cornerstone beat Lourdes. Good win for Cornerstone there at home. So here's the standings. Indiana Tech and Madonna are tied. Lourdes, Rochester Christian, you can see them. See that UNOH is they're right there where they could get in that top 4. There's enough games left, but it seems clearly the battle is going to be between Indiana Tech and Madonna. Okay, so what's happening Wednesday? Defiance is going to be at Rochester Christian. As we mentioned, the Racers at Indiana Tech and Madonna at Lourdes. That's the game of the conference Wednesday night right here. Wednesday, yeah. Madonna and Lourdes. Tune in for that one. Tune in for them all. Okay, in the River States, LSU Shreveport, they beat Texas A&M San Antonio 113-84. Hayden Brittingham, 38 points, 12 rebounds. 38 points, 12 rebounds. What do I say? A big boy double-double. And then Emarion McDonald, 31 points, 9 rebounds. Just short of a big boy double-double. Look at that, 69 points between the two of them, 21 rebounds. Wow, what a pair. So Shreveport now goes to 15-3, and they're going to be at Jarvis Christian on Thursday. Let's look at the rest of the games in the Red River. Texas A&M, Texarkana beat Our Lady of the Lake. Tough loss for Our Lady of the Lake. We talked about the Shreveport game. Xavier went to Texas College and got the win. That's a hard place to play. And look out, LSU Alexandria won again. They keep sneaking up. So let's take a look at the standings. Where are they? So Shreveport is well in hand of the conference. But LSU Alexandria now is sole second place, right there below Xavier. You can see it there. Big battle for second place. What is there? Well, what is there? Four teams basically within a half a game. And then after that, it kind of drops off. So this Thursday, North American is going to be at Alexandria. Xavier is going to be at Louisiana Christian. Their record isn't great, but it's a tough place to play. Just keep that in mind. And Our Lady of the Lake has to go to UNT Dallas. So those are all games that can move the standings in the Red River. Let's jump over to the Frontier. They play Friday and Saturday. Montana Tech, only team in the top 25 now. They were at Dakota State Friday night. Boy, a game they almost dropped. Anyway, 68-66, they were able to win this. Braden Cook, 16 points. Carson Peffer, 19 points, 4 rebounds. And then on Saturday, they fell to Bellevue on the road at Bellevue, 67-62. Ahmed Bynum, 23 points, 4 rebounds. J.J. Montgomery, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. So Montana Tech goes to 15-4 on the season, and they're going to be at Montana Western on Friday. That's going to be a big showdown game. 2 tough teams. Let's look at the rest of the conference Friday and Saturday. So we already talked about Bellevue also beat Montana Western. North Carroll got beat on Friday night by Northern. That was a tough loss for Carroll. Rocky Mountain just continues to win. They won on Friday. Let's go over to Saturday night. Dakota State, who fell on Friday, was able to rebound and get the win on Western. That Montana Tech loss was tough for them. Rocky Mountain swept the weekend and got the win on Northern, and Carroll was able to salvage the weekend and get the split with the win at Providence. Let's take a look at the standings in the conference. Bellevue, Rocky Mountain, and Carroll are all dead tied. Montana Tech is 2 games back, along with Dakota State, Montana Western, and everybody else, I'm sorry, is going to be an also ran. But anybody within this group of 5 is still viable to get that number 1 seed going into the playoffs. They have a weird schedule this week. I'll just go through it. I'll let you read it. They're playing Monday. They're playing Tuesday. They're playing Thursday. And then on Friday is going to be the big look at the games on Friday. Bellevue at Dakota State. Mark your calendar. Rocky Mountain at Carroll. They have to go to Helena. Mark your calendar. And Montana Tech has to go to Montana Western. 3 huge games on Friday. And then Mayville and Valley State will play on Saturday. In the heart of America, Graceland at Baker. Well, I told you playing at Baker was tough, but Graceland got out with the win, 92-91. Rooney Hernandez, 22 points, 14 rebounds. DeAndre Robinson, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Couple of great performances by those Graceland players. They go to 16-3, Graceland does, and they're going to be, scratch that up there, they're going to be hosting Mount Mercy on Wednesday. What else happened in the Heart on Saturday? You can see the scores there. William Penn won another game. They beat Missouri Baptist, so they're right in the thick of it. Culver Stockton beat Park. That was a big game. Central Methodist won. They beat Peru State, and Grandview won. So let's look at the standings and see how all this got affected. Graceland is two games up on William Penn, Missouri Baptist. Grandview, you can see this. It's really, after Graceland, it's really a mess down here. I don't know if anybody's going to catch Graceland. There's still a lot of time left in the conference, but it's a big mess battling for second there. What is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams within one game of second place. So now every game is huge, right? So on Wednesday, William Penn is at Grandview. That's a position game. Benedictine at Park. That's a position game. And Mid-American Nazarene is at Peru State, and Peru State's battling with all those other teams. So going to be interesting. The Heart's going to be all these conferences. Saturday night, Oregon Tech beat Warner Pacific 82-70. In that game, Dakota Reber, 27 points, 8 rebounds. Jackson Cooper, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Oregon Tech goes to 13-5, and they're going to be at Northwest on Friday. So let's look at the rest of the Cascade. They also play Friday and Saturday night. You can see all the scores there, most of them pretty predictable. But Corbin went to Eastern Oregon, and beat them 66-60. That is, boy, that's a great, that's a bad loss for Eastern, a huge win for Corbin. And then on Saturday, everything was according to what you would expect. All the favorites won on Saturday. So take a look at these standings, just like every other conference. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, count them, are tied for first. College of Idaho is only 1 game back. I guarantee they're going to be in this bunch here probably after this weekend. And then it starts to slip down after that. It is a big mess. So this weekend, Corbin is at Bushnell. Why do I circle that game? Because that is always a big game in the conference. It's a rivalry game. You don't know who's going to come out from it. College of Idaho has to go to LC State. Tough place to play, tough place to win. Oregon Tech is at Northwest. Okay, Northwest, their record's not the best in the world, but I'm telling you, take my word for it. The Northwest gym is extremely tough. It's small, it's short. It's a really that's a place, if you're going to get knocked off, you're going to have a bad loss, it's going to be at Northwest. And then on Saturday, Southern Oregon will be at Northwest. And then Eastern Oregon on Saturday will be at LC State. So there's definitely some games here that could change the standings around. We'll see what happens after this weekend. In the AMC, Columbia College defeated Central Baptist 70-52. Caleb Jones, 17 points, 6 rebounds. Jameel Goins, 17 points, 15 rebounds. That's just shy of a big boy double-double, but man, that is a strong double-double. They go to 17-2, and they're going to play a non-conference on Tuesday at Kansas Wesleyan. What else happened in the AMC? Williams Baptist beat Mission. That was a big game in the conference. And Crowley's Ridge was defeated Harris Stowe. Let's look at the standings. So Columbia, what is that? Two games. There's odd numbers of games played, but okay, so Columbia is basically 2 games up over Williams Baptist. Hannibal LaGrange. Mission is another game back. They need a few more games to really let this thing soak out. So what's happening on Thursday? Hannibal LaGrange, who needs another win, they're going to be at Crowley's Ridge. Williams Baptist will be at Central Baptist, and that's a non-conference, that Mission game. In the Southern States, William Carey defeated ABAC, Abraham Baldwin. Jamar Jenkins, 24 points, 2 rebounds. Arzika Sabu, he had 18 points, 3 rebounds. So William Carey, they go to 16-1, and they will host Bruton Parker on Thursday. It'll be a big game. Big game. Let's look at the rest of the games in the conference. Thomas beat Loyola. Big win. Life won. Bruton Parker beat Mobile. Kind of made up. They had fell a few days before that to Faulkner. And then Faulkner beat Point. So Faulkner had a good week. Okay, what's the standings look like? Now, this is one of those East-West teams. So Life, Bruton Parker, they're battling it out in the East. Dalton State could get there, but it's really been between Life and Bruton Parker. And on the West, William Carey, Faulkner, and Mobile, all right there. Again, it's all these odd numbers. They've played 5 games, 8 games, 6 games. So what are the key games coming up? Thursday, as I mentioned, Bruton Parker's at William Carey. I think that's the big game. Oh, also Dalton State. I didn't tag this one. Dalton State's at Mobile on Thursday. And that's a non-conference game. And then Life will be at Faulkner. That's another one, Life at Faulkner on Thursday. I blocked this out. They had UT Southern playing two different teams, but this is who they're playing, this Abraham Baldwin. The GPAC, nobody in the top 25, but quite a few teams have been in the top 25 this year, so I wanted to go through the results. Midland, Northwestern got the win. Briarcliff got beat. That's really going to hurt their chances in that conference. And then on Sunday, Dakota Wesleyan beat Concordia. That really hurt Concordia. So again, looking at the standings, Morningside's really running away with this thing. This is another team. 7 teams within a game of second place. 7. Wow. Well, it's probably going to fill the stands. Look at Northwestern, 7-5. I don't think they'll catch Morningside. Okay, what's happening on Wednesday? Mount Marty's going to be at Doane. These are all teams playing for position. Midland has to go to Concordia. And Dakota Wesleyan has to go to Morningside. So those are some games in the GPAC to keep an eye on. I don't think I ever remember a time prior to this year when there was no GPAC teams in the top 25. Anyway, that's what happened this weekend. We'll be back with you again tomorrow. Remember, honored Martin Luther King today. It's a holiday. I hope you enjoy the holiday, but remember, it's in the memory of Martin Luther King and honor his memory. Thank you very much. This is Billy D. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much for supporting our podcast. Please like and subscribe. Get out to your local NAIA school because NAIA basketball is the best entertainment value in America.